Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm joined by Shanna Landolt, a seasoned career coach, LinkedIn expert, resume writer, and former executive search headhunter with over 25 years placing professionals in six-figure roles across industries. Through her firm, she helps executives, career changers, and high performers build powerful personal brands, completing LinkedIn profiles and resumes, and coaching them to land their dream job, navigate better, and step into roles where they thrive. Shanna, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me on the podcast, Olivia.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm excited to dive in and learn more about your journey. Typically with all of my guests, I do like to start at the beginning. So do you mind taking me back to what it was that you was doing before you started up the firm? And then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Sure. So my original sort of 10 years in working, I worked as an actress in musical theater. And
Wow.
I understudied and performed the role of Fantine in Les Mis, in Les Miserables in Toronto, and the National Arts Centre in Ottawa. And then I went away and was singing and dancing on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean. So lots of fun. And I came back to Toronto and there was no theater work happening. And I'd already experienced producing my own shows and I didn't want to do that. And I thought maybe I'll get into business. And I had two goals at the time. One was I was probably around 26 or 27 years old. And I either wanted to be on Broadway before I was 30 or I wanted to earn $100,000 before I was 30. So I said, all right, I'm going to pivot and go the money route. And I thought I would get into public relations, but every single recruiting firm that I interviewed with said, you should be a recruiter, you should be a headhunter. And finally, one company too many said that. And I said, okay, I'm listening. I will go into this direction. So I became a headhunter and did that for about 15 or 16 years before I went out on my own. And
Yeah.
what happened was I had a month where I earned about $60,000 in commissions. And I I said to myself, boy, that's enough for me to take the risk and start my own business. So this would have been about 14 years ago. And I founded the Landolt Group, which was executive search predominantly in the pharmaceutical sector, and had a good run at that. And then the economy changed. So what
Mm.
happened was instead of using recruiters, a lot of my clients started going to a global recruitment platform. So they were doing their recruitment out of the Philippines or India at a lower reduced rate than what I was charging. And they were using one provider for all of their work globally. And as an independent, that just wasn't my niche. And then I had a couple of my clients get acquired by other companies who already had their recruitment systems in place. And I found myself with a very small client list. And I had been designing LinkedIn profiles and resumes for about 10 years just as a side gig because my clients would come to me and say, hey, can you do this for me? And I'd say, yes, of course. And so then I decided a year and a half ago to pivot and close my search business and focus on designing resumes and LinkedIn profiles and doing interview coaching. And I absolutely love it. It's one of the things that I like about it, Olivia, is that I have the opportunity to make a bigger difference with people because there's more people that I can impact in a shorter period of time than I could with executive search.
Yeah. And you're having a direct impact as well because it's more, I would say, on a personal level, where the headhunting may be not so personal to you or relevant in that situation, but maybe on the coaching, and obviously, please correct me if I'm wrong, but having that personal like goal of knowing that you've helped somebody achieve their dream and land that role that they love the most must be very fulfilling on your side of it as well.
It is. And according to Forbes, you're 71% more likely to land interviews when your LinkedIn profile is fully optimized. And so for somebody who's in a job search, it makes an incredible difference to have their LinkedIn profile optimized.
Mhm.
And even for people who aren't in a job search but want an executive presence with their clients, it's surprising how little attention people give to the actual content of their LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, I'm part of the guilty bucket, so please don't judge me too much. I try my best, but it is such a key to have. And as you say, people spend a lot more time building a personal brand on a platform that may be like Instagram or isn't as beneficial to their work profession or their life. So it's having that good balance between the two. Mm.
Right. And if you
Yeah.
think of it, every single person that you engage with from a business perspective looks at your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Even internal colleagues will look at your LinkedIn profile. So whether
No.
you're interviewing or whether you're just doing business with people, that matters.
Yeah. 100%. So let's dive into the business a little bit more then. So walk me through, who would you say is your ideal customer? And then from there, like, how is it you help them and how do you support them? What do it look like to work with you?
Sure. So I work with executives and entrepreneurs. The executives that I tend to work with are in pharmaceuticals, financial services, and insurance. And that being said, I've worked with people outside of those industries. Those just happen to be my sweet spots.
Okay.
And to work with me for a resume session, I book 2 1-hour sessions. I
Okay.
come to the first meeting with a draft of the resume completely designed. And then I sit with my clients and go over what are their best stories and incorporate those into a resume. So I believe there's 5 reasons that people hire someone. You either make a company money, save a company money, save a company time, which equals money, bring innovation and strategy to the organization, or impact the people and culture. And the more we can weave those stories into a resume, the more successful that resume will be.
Yeah,
And
amazing. So
then and then for the LinkedIn profile, I book 1 2-hour session. I completely design their resume, their LinkedIn profile in a Word document, sit down with my client virtually, and then as they become happy with each section, I paste it live into their LinkedIn profile. So at the end of the 2 hours, they have a fully branded and optimized LinkedIn profile.
amazing. So a very quick and smooth process, as you say, for doing it like right there and then with people. There's no need to faff around, as I would say in the UK.
Exactly.
Amazing. I'm intrigued to see then how you go about acquiring your customers as well. So what channels, what methods are you finding most effective in reaching people and that having that client acquisition?
Sure. So given I'm a LinkedIn expert, I use LinkedIn. And I reach out to people directly with a quick, short message saying, I have 25 years of experience in executive search, and now do resume writing and interview coaching and LinkedIn profile optimization. And I'd love to connect with them. And then when they connect with me, I send a message following up saying, here are the statistics on why I have an optimized LinkedIn profile. And if they'd be interested in sitting down with me for 15 minutes, I'll give them a $100 discount off of my services. So that's my sort of natural reaching out
Yeah.
to people. And then I've created a partnership with one recruiter in particular who sends me every candidate she interviews who is in need of a resume or a LinkedIn profile optimization. She sends an introduction and I give her a referral fee. So
Nice.
I'd certainly, if there are any recruiters listening to this podcast and they'd like to have that kind of partnership, it's great because normally recruiters, when they interview candidates, they place one candidate per search. But there's all of these other people that they interview that they don't get any revenue from. So this is a nice way it's not a lot, but it's a couple of bags of groceries or a dinner out.
Yeah. No, as you say, and it helps flow through with their follow-up process as well. It's just putting them into a pile where they can be useful for the people they're not
Yes,
actually facing. Works very well. And then are you still a solopreneur as well at the moment? Or do you have a team that are helping you out with outreach and maybe the sales process
sure.
as well coming into it?
I'm a solopreneur, but I have a virtual assistant in Toronto who posts on my website for me, and I have a virtual assistant in Bangladesh.
Nice. So helping out with jobs that might not necessarily hold your time, because as a founder, like it must be very hard to juggle those many hats all the time and navigate through which jobs to work on first and which jobs to leave till slightly later on.
I'm lucky because I think my theater background gave me a great sense of discipline. I schedule time in my calendar for designing resumes and LinkedIn profiles, and then I schedule time for prospecting. And I always remember if business is slow, it's because I haven't done enough outreach.
Yeah, start at the top of the funnel and we take it from there. So
Hmm.
then what are your plans moving forward then, Shanna? Have you got any new projects or like goals that you're working on? What do the next 6 to 12 months look like to you?
Yeah, there's the major thing that I'm doing this year is I'm actually getting a database and doing email marketing. So
Yeah.
all of my marketing and business development has been on LinkedIn. And what I'm doing in 2026 is I'm reaching out to people with a goal of having them get a freebie, which would be a LinkedIn profile cheat sheet, and then onto my email list so that I can develop organic customers over time as opposed to always having to do that
Yeah.
reaching out via LinkedIn.
Yeah, an email list is amazing. Are you thinking about maybe running any form of paid advertisements as well across social media, or are we going to stick to like email marketing?
No, I'm going to stick to email marketing.
Is that something you've known and done before?
I have never done email marketing before, and it's time. I really should have done it this year, but it's for my business to grow to the next level. It's time to do email marketing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to help you with that like consistent lead flow, as you say, bringing people in and just taking you to the next level. And then as you look to like scale, what would you say would be the biggest challenge for you?
Hey, you know what? I don't see challenges as a negative thing. I think the biggest challenge for me is going to be finding the right messaging that really reaches people and gets them motivated to come onto my email list, and then to provide them with really great content that makes a difference and doesn't irritate them.
That's a fine line, isn't it? Irritation and intrigue. Beautiful.
Yes.
Amazing. And then, so Shannon, it's a final question. If you could go back in time and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, something you know now but that you didn't know then, what would you say to your younger self?
I would say to my younger self to do work that you're truly passionate about. Because there was a long time in my executive search business where I was good at what I did, but I wasn't passionate about it.
Mm,
And I'm passionate about what I do right now. Every day I wake up, I love going to work. It's never boring to me, it's never a struggle. I'm excited about it. And when clients reach out to me, I know unequivocally that I can make a difference with them.
that's very nice. And that's such a great reason to go to work every day, no? Just getting up and out. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful stuff. And Shanna, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out best to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do
Yeah,
that?
the best way to connect with me is through LinkedIn, and it's Shanna Landolt on LinkedIn. And if they reach out to me and mention the Founders Future podcast, I'm happy to give them a special rate. So please feel welcome to reach out and connect with me.
Beautiful. And drop the Founder's Future and we can get a nice little surprise at the end of it. Beautiful
Mm,
stuff. Thank you so much. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to go and check out Shanna and all the amazing stuff that she's doing. And do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favourite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we will see you on the next one.